Did you know that in 2019, Black people from the US spent more than $109 billion traveling? Well, that's a lot of money, but where exactly are they going and where aren't they going? Hi everyone, my name is Jasmine McCoy and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, thank you for clicking in to drop by, but if you're a returner, it's very nice to have you back. And this video, I wanted to talk about 6 cities that I would go in Africa if, of course, I had the money to go and the time to do it. But why did I choose Africa specifically? Well, as I was sitting down thinking about a video to make, I thought, how many Black people have actually traveled to Africa for any kind of vacation, any kind of holiday, or conference if you have it like that with your job? But I couldn't find any kind of research or data that had been done on the topic. So then I had to turn to recollections of what I know from the people around me. And thinking about the people I know that have been able to travel, if they're traveling domestically, it's typically somewhere in the South with a beach. So the big main places are Florida, Georgia, maybe Texas. And also it could be in the West, and if they're going west, it's almost always California. But if it's not California, and if they're doing like a desert type of place, it's going to be Las Vegas, Nevada. I don't really know of many people who are Black that have traveled and gone to a cold place, but if they do, it is definitely Colorado, and it's to ski. But if they're going internationally, it is generally going to be one of our neighbors to the south. So obviously Mexico, they're going to go to either Punta Cana or Cancun. But if it's not Mexico, it would typically be Jamaica's, the Bahamas, Caribbean, those kinds of places. And if they're going across the pond, which is again, even less Black people going across the pond. But if they do that, it's going to be pretty much only Europe, one of the big 3, England, Spain, or France. But I haven't really heard any of my friends, my parents' friends, or even just people in general from when I was at school, and I can't remember any of them ever going to Africa. But I have gone to Africa, and that was a summer that I did studying at the Reagan Institute. I was a researcher for HIV and AIDS, and it was the most fun I've ever had in my entire life. I got research experience, and when I was not in the lab, I was also able to get a bunch of cultural experience by not only traveling around South Africa, because that's where I was placed in the city of Durban, but I also got to travel to Johannesburg and Cape Town, and we went to Lesotho, which is the small country that is inside of South Africa. So those are my experiences in Africa. South Africa and Lesotho, those are the only 2 countries that I have been to. So I thought, because I would definitely like to go to Africa again. I thought, where else would I like to go if I went to Africa again? And that is how this video came about. So here are 6 places, 6 cities that I would visit in Africa and what I would look forward to when I got there. Our first place is Cairo, Egypt. And I remember ever since learning about Egyptians, ever since learning about pyramids, Cleopatra, all those amazing things, I always wanted to go to Egypt. So of course we're going to go to Egypt, we're going to visit the pyramids and ride a camel, because that's gonna be fun. Hopefully I don't fall off, but I'm looking forward to that. I would also go and visit, what is it called? The Museum of Egyptian Antiquities, and in that museum they also have I think it's a gilded tomb of King Tutankhamun, so that would be fun to see. And also, because this is the place of the Nile, I would want to do some kind of excursion out on the water. So I don't know if that's going to be a cruise or just a little tour. And the final thing I'd like to do in Cairo, Egypt is visit the Al-Azhar Mosque. And also, disclaimer, because this video is going to have a lot of foreign things in it, I am going to be trying my best to pronounce all of the things that I would like to visit. If I mess up, I apologize, but I'm trying my best. And if you don't know me, pertaining as to why I would like to visit the Al-Azhar Mosque, I love left-right symmetry. So when I was just browsing through pictures of things that you could do in Cairo, Egypt, and I saw this, I was like, ooh, this looks nice. This looks nice. And also it has a lot of mosaics in this mosque, and mosaics, if you're like me, that is just an artistic style that I really, really like because it takes a lot of dedication, it takes a lot of attention to detail, and it is teeny tiny things that when you look really up close, you can't tell like what the overall pattern is, but then you zoom out and it just looks so pretty. So that is why I would like to visit the Al-Azhar Mosque. Up next, we have Nairobi, Kenya. And here I would like to visit Mount Kilimanjaro. I am not going to hike it. I am not going to scale it. I am not going to do, well, actually, because I just did that video about Black people and camping, I would probably do some kind of hike up a small part of the mountain, but we're not going to the tippy top. So I obviously want to do something surrounding Mount Kilimanjaro, and I also want to go to the elephant orphanage that they have there. So if I'm going to do anything with animals, I want to make sure that it's being done in a humane way, that it is not anything that is taking advantage of the animals or keeping them in captivity instead of releasing them out to their natural environment. I'd also like to go to the Giraffe Cafe, and I have seen different videos of people enjoying their time, so here's a couple of examples over here. But I would love to go to the Giraffe Cafe, and I did, on the safari that I went to in South Africa, I did see one giraffe, but it was really far away. So if I could have that up close interaction with the giraffe, that would be really cool. And then another thing that I would do is I would, of course, go to the Amboseli National Park, probably to go on another safari, see if I can see some other animals that I didn't see in South Africa, hopefully some carnivores. I would like to see something dangerous, obviously from a distance, but I would like to go to the Amboseli National Park. Up next is Livingstone, Zambia, and I remember probably 6 or 7 months ago seeing something called the Devil's Pool, and I'm like, ooh, what is that? That doesn't, But I remember seeing it, seeing people, also here's some examples over here, but I remember seeing people come up basically to the edge of this waterfall, and I'm thinking, these people are crazy. But then afterwards I watched a video of how it works and how they just don't over the edge of it, and I was like, ooh, I want to do that one day. So I would go visit Devil's Pool, and Devil's Pool is it's a smaller attraction of the larger attraction that is Victoria Falls. So I'd like to go and see Victoria Falls and just take pictures there. That would be really fun. And the next thing that I would do is the Miso-Oa-Tunya National Park. I believe I got that one correctly, but this one, from what I saw, is a little bit more of a marshland-ish kind of national park. And again, if I'm going to a national park, I want to see some more animals because we have cool animals here in the United States, but not as cool as the animals in Africa, and that's what I would like to see. Up next is Accra, Ghana, and again, I'm going to another national park, but this is the Kakun National Park, and in it, they have 40 mammal species, 300 bird species, and over 600 butterfly species. So for this one, probably not going for the big animals. I'd definitely be going to see some cool birds and also some butterflies. Then I would also go to the Artist Alliance Gallery, just because I really like art. I like being able to look at it, being able to take part in it, and I mean, obviously, in one of my previous videos, I was gushing about the National Museum of African American History at the Smithsonian that I went to. So to go to the Alliance Art Gallery, I'm sure that I would have an equally fun time. And then I would go to something called the Crocobite. I'm pretty sure that I am butchering it, but I am trying my best. And this essentially is kind of like a nightlife, party on the beach, music, food, dancing type of thing. So obviously for this, wouldn't go for an extended amount of time, but just to walk up and down, maybe stop, dance a little bit, eat a little bit, and just have a nice time under the night sky. Another thing that I would want to do in Accra is go to the Aburi Botanical Gardens. So when I was in South Africa, I also went to the Botanical Gardens of Durban, had an amazing time, learned a lot, took a bunch of great pictures, and I feel like that's another thing that I would like to do, go to another botanical garden. Up next is Lagos, Nigeria, and for this one I would want to visit the Lekki Conservation Center. So this is another kind of like free roaming release of nature the way that it is meant to be. And in it they have this canopy walkway, which I was able to go on a very short one when I was in South Africa. It was probably, I don't know, 50 meters. But the one in Lagos, Nigeria at the Lekki Conservation Center is 400 meters long. So that's an entire lap around the track. And it just has all these great trees, and it looks so bright. And it also probably smells really nice, hopefully. But it looks like it smells nice and earthy there. So I would have a fun time walking through that. I would also go to the Lekki Market. And this is something that I would not be able to go to alone. It seems like for me, it would be very easy to get lost, but I would have a nice time just walking around. And also I would definitely buy something from the people that are there, something that I could take back as a souvenir, because I did bring back a lot of souvenirs from South Africa that I was able to share with my family. But yeah. So going to the Lekki Market would be another must. Then I would also go to something called Knock Restaurant for some Nigerian food, because I am a foodie. And with also all of the ones that I previously mentioned, if I'm going there, I'm obviously going to try the food. I'm obviously going to try whatever delicacies that they have there. But this one was very highly reviewed, and it also looked like it had a great ambiance to it. So we would make a pit stop at Knock Restaurant. And the final city on this list is Marrakesh, Morocco. So for this one, I would definitely like to visit the Majorel House and Gardens. And it is a different kind of garden. It's not a flowery kind of garden. It's really more so for cacti, which is not my typical go-to for a botanical garden. But cacti can still be beautiful in their own way, and it looks like this house just has a lot going on that I want to see. Also, it has very bright colors and benches and a nice little like layout mosaic thing going on that I would personally like to just walk through. And another thing that we would go to is the Bahia Palace. So this one, when I was looking at it, I was like, oh, the white, the blue, the yellow, this place is gorgeous. And it also has the great big dome ceilings and then the little scallop things on the doors. So this just looks like an architectural marvel that I would love being able to just walk through and see. I'd also like to visit something called a Maraude. And a Maraude is a traditional Medina mansion that is traditionally centered around a courtyard. So looking at all of the pictures that were coming up for Riyadhs, they just look cute, homey, they have amazing colors, and they're also, each and every one of them is unique, has its own decoration style, and just another thing that I would like to be able to experience. Also, many of them have like rooftop seating and eating areas, and it seems like a very beautiful thing to just be drinking your tea or eating your Marrakesh food, and then just to look out and see the rest of the city. So that is the end of this video. Hearing all of my ideas, I better start saving right now. That way I can look forward to one day taking these trips in the future. But if you have any suggestions of places that you think I should visit in Africa, or even just the rest of the world, put them in the comments. Also, if you have any suggestions for videos that I should make for the Black History Month playlist, put that in the comments. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!